Hi guys, this is Madhukar BN. Today we shall discuss about Poisson distribution. Poisson distribution is also one of the very famous discrete probability distributions that has got wide-ranging applications. It has got wide-ranging applications. Yesterday I had posted the recording of binomial distribution, which is one of the most famous and very basic discrete probability distribution. So today we shall move on to another discrete probability distribution, namely the Poisson distribution. It has got lots and lots of applications in especially in communication in engineering, right? Most of the arrival of calls at a telephone exchange are the germinating seed, how the germination takes place, or if a large number of calls are arriving at arriving in our mobile, they are all modeled in terms of Poisson distribution. Okay, so that's why, and also it is possible to approximate binomial distribution by Poisson distribution when the number of repeated trials are very large. So in such cases, Poisson distribution gives a very good approximation of the binomial distribution, because the Poisson distribution is very simple to implement, very simple to calculate. That's why it lends itself to for very easier mathematical tractability and very easier implementation. So that's why it is very popular after the binomial distribution. So again, this is before we go on to the definition of the Poisson distribution, and before we derive the expression for mean, variance, and standard deviation, it's imperative on our part to basically note the factorial notation. This I had discussed yesterday while I was recording the binomial distribution video also. But to recapitulate, to refurbish ourselves with the basics, I am just rating what is required from our derivational aspect. So if you remember, factorial x, a factorial of a number exists only for positive integers alone. The factorial doesn't exist for negative numbers, and it doesn't exist for positive or negative fractions or decimals also. It exists only for positive integers only, right? So factorial x can be written as x factorial of x minus 1. This is a recursive relation. So normally this criteria is used in programming for calculating the factorial of a number. If you remember your C program or C++ program or Java program, if you have learned, right, you would have learned about recursion in functions. So this formula is used repeatedly in writing a program, C program or a C++ or a Java program for finding the factorial of a number. So factorial x is given by x factorial of x minus 1. Now I can apply this formula repeatedly time and again. So that can be written as, if I treat x minus 1 as x, so this becomes x minus 1 factorial of x minus 1 minus 1, or x minus 1 is 2. So I get x minus 1 factorial of x minus 2 pre-multiplied by x. So this becomes x into x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 2, so on and so forth. This I can further write it as x into x minus 1 into x minus 2 factorial of x minus 3, etc. So until where I can do it, until I can use this formula until factorial 1 equal to 1 is reached on the right hand side. Typical examples we consider factorial 3. Factorial 3 I can easily write it as 3 into 2 into 1, but I want to have the utility of this formula. So that's why factorial 3 I write it as 3 factorial of 3 minus 1. Let me take x is equal to 3. So factorial x is x factorial of x minus 1. So factorial 3 is equal to 3 factorial of 3 minus 1, which I get it as 3 factorial 2. 3 into factorial of 2, I mean. Then now x is equal to 2, apply the same formula. So factorial 2 is equal to 2 into factorial of 2 minus 1, or 3 into 2 factorial 1. So factorial 1 is 1. I have to stop at factorial 1. So 3 into 2 into 1 is equal to 6. While while applying this formula recursively, I should take into account the previous integers that may arise due to the repeated application of this formula. I should not neglect them, right? So 3 I have taken into account here when I am calculating factorial of 2. So factorial 1, I know 1. So 2 that has come from the second time application of this formula has also been taken care of. So 3 into 2 into 1 is 6. Please note factorial 1 is 1, factorial 0 is 0. Sorry, factorial of 0 is 1. Factorial of 0 is 1, factorial of 1 is 1. Okay. Another typical example I take is factorial 5. Before I go on to the definition of the Poisson distribution. Factorial 5. Now x is equal to 5. So factorial x is equal to x factorial of x minus 1. So take x is equal to 5. So factorial 5 is equal to 5 into factorial of 5 minus 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So I get 5 factorial of 4. Again apply this formula recursively. Until where? Until 1 is reached on the 1 factorial equal to 1 is reached on the right hand side. Now take x is equal to 4, apply the same formula. So 5 into 4 factorial of 4 minus 1. I get 4 factorial 3 pre-multiplied by 5. This 5 is due to the previous first time application of this formula. Okay. Now 5 into 4 factorial 3 I have. So factorial 3, again apply the same formula. So take x is equal to 3. So it becomes 3 factorial of 3 minus 1, which is nothing but 3 factorial of 2 pre-multiplied by 5 into 4. Now factorial 2 I have. So factorial 2 I have, apply the same formula. Take x is equal to 2. So 2 factorial of 2 minus 1. So I get 2 factorial of 1. Now factorial 1 is 1. So I get 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which is equal to 120. Right? So I should stop when 1 has been reached at the right hand side. So let me go on to the definition of the Poisson distribution. Poisson distribution, as I told, it was invented by the mathematician Poisson around 200 years back, 200 to 300 years back, and it occupies an important place in the analysis of practical systems, right? Especially in computer networking, in signal processing, in image processing, and all. It occupies a very important place. So Poisson distribution, so it's given by its PMF. It's a distributed distribution. It's a discrete distribution. So discrete distributions are represented by their PDF and their discrete distributions are represented by their PMF and CDF. Sorry, discrete distributions are represented by their PMF and CDF only. So its PMF, Px of x is simply given by e to the power of minus lambda into lambda to the power of x divided by factorial x. It is given by e to the power of minus lambda into lambda to the power of x by factorial x. So e to the power of minus lambda is a constant. Lambda is a constant parameter. It can be, lambda can be a whole number, it can be a decimal number or a fractional number also. Okay, of course, x ranges from, x is a positive integer here because x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. till infinity, theoretically. So my first step, this is the definition of the Poisson distribution which we need to remember. And please note, different authors give different symbols for this. Some authors write e to the power of minus m into lambda to the power of m by factorial m. That is also correct. But we in engineering, you usually follow the notation e to the power of minus lambda into lambda to the power of x by factorial x. Okay. So this is the notation that we are going to follow. So first I need to prove that it is a valid or a legitimate PMF. How to do it? Two conditions must be satisfied. First is that the PMF should be greater than or equal to 0 for all x. And secondly, the summation of this Px of x, that is the summation of this PMF over all x ranging from 0 to infinity in this case, should be equal to 1. Two conditions should be satisfied by PMF to validate that it is a valid or a legitimate PMF. So what are those two conditions? The two conditions are Px of x should be greater than or equal to 0 for all x. Secondly, the summation of the PMF Px of x for all x should be equal to 1. Here x ranges from 0 to infinity. So that's why summation x is equal to 0 to infinity, Px of x is equal to 1. So this can be applied for infinite trials also, for x going from 0, 1 to until infinity. Whereas in the case of binomial distribution, it was finite. K ranging from 0, 1 to x ranging from 0 to n. X ranging from 0 to n we had used. Whereas in the case of Poisson distribution, x ranges from 0 to infinity. I am repeating. In the case of binomial distribution, the number of trials were finite. N was finite. So summation x is equal to 0 to n, Px of x is equal to 1 we had used for proving that binomial distribution is a valid PMF. While discussing binomial distribution, I had used summation x is equal to 0 to n px of x is equal to 1. Why? Because the number of trials in a binomial distribution is fixed, whereas in Poisson distribution, it's not like that. X ranges from 0 to infinity. It can be finite or infinite in Poisson distribution, whereas in the case of binomial distribution, it is fixed. Right? You may ask, sir, in binomial, I am using summation x is equal to 0 to n, px of x is equal to 1, which I had proved in binomial. But why are you using summation x is equal to 0 to infinity, px of x is equal to 1 in Poisson distribution? The answer is, in binomial distribution, the number of trials are fixed. So how many trials are there? N fixed trials. So n is finite. Right? Now, but in the case of Poisson distribution, the number of trials can be finite or infinite. So that's why I take summation x is equal to 0 to infinity here. So the first condition, obviously px of x is greater than or equal to 0 for all x. So for x is equal to 0 also, px of x is greater than or equal to 0. So that's why first condition is satisfied. Second condition is that the summation of px of x for all x should be equal to 1. So summation x is equal to 0 to infinity, px of x equal to 1, I should prove. So for that, what I am going to do, substitute the value of px of x, that is substitute the definition of the Poisson distribution into the formula, summation left hand side. So if I substitute for px of x, I get summation x is equal to 0 to infinity, exponent minus lambda, lambda to the power of x by factorial x. Now exponent minus lambda is a constant, so I can pull it outside the summation. So I'm left with exponent minus lambda, summation x is equal to 0 to infinity, lambda to the power of x by factorial x. Okay. Now we expand this summation. I have e to the power of minus lambda into lambda to the power of 0 by factorial 0 plus lambda to the power of 1 by factorial 1 plus lambda squared by factorial 2 plus lambda cubed by factorial 3 plus etc. Okay. Okay. So then it is equal to e to the power of minus lambda into lambda to the power of 0 is 1, factorial 0 is 1. So 1 by 1, 1. So this is this evaluates to 1. Next, lambda to the power of 1 by 1 factorial. Factorial 1 is 1. So I get lambda. Next, factorial 2 is 2. So I get lambda squared by 2. And the series continues until infinity. Now, recognize what is the what this bracketed term is. This bracketed term is nothing but the Taylor series or a Maclaurin series, e to the power of lambda. It's a exponential series, which is obtained using Maclaurin's theorem, our first and second semester mathematics. So this is nothing but exponent lambda. So that's why you do this, I get e to the power of minus lambda into e to the power of lambda. This series, this infinite series reduces to e to the power of lambda, multiplied by e to the power of minus lambda. So combining the exponentials, I get exponent minus lambda plus lambda plus lambda gets cancelled, and I am left with e to the power of 0, which is equal to 1. So I have proved that the summation x is equal to 0 to infinity, the sum of the PMF, summation x is equal to 0 to infinity, px of x, where px of x is the PMF, is equal to 1. So hence I conclude that, or I infer that, the Poisson distribution is a valid or a legitimate PMF. The first part is over. Next, I calculate the mean and the variance of the Poisson distribution. I hope this is clearer to you. Okay, I shall be sharing this PDF with you. PDF means the portable document format with you. Mean. So mean is this is the distributor. This is a discrete distribution. So I need to use summation. Formula remain constant. So mean mu x is simply given by summation x is equal to 0 to infinity x into px of x. Okay. Why x is equal to 0 to infinity? Because it's a x ranges takes both finite and infinite values. So x into px of x it takes x into px of x for x ranging from 0 to infinity. I am substituting. Now substitute the value of px of x. That is, substitute the definition of the Poisson distribution. So I get summation x is equal to 0 to infinity x into e to the power of minus lambda, lambda to the power of x by factorial x. Now e to the power of minus lambda is a constant, so pull it outside. So I get e to the power of minus lambda, summation x is equal to 0 to infinity x lambda to the power of x by factorial x. Now expand the summation. If I put x is equal to 0, 0 into anything is 0. So first term reduces to 0 only. 0 lambda to the power of 0 by factorial 0 I get. Factorial 0 is 1. Lambda to the power of 0 is 1. So 0 into 1 by 1 is 0 only. No? So first term reduces to 0. Next, plus first term. Yes, then substitute x is equal to 1. If I substitute x is equal to 1, I get 1 lambda to the power of 1 by 1 factorial, which I have written here. Next, put x is equal to 0. I have put x is equal to 0. I have put x is equal to 1. Now put x is equal to 2. Now put x is equal to 2. So it becomes 2 lambda squared by factorial 2. Next, put x is equal to 3. Then this becomes x equal to 3, right? So 3 lambda cubed by factorial 3, it becomes plus etc. It continues. Now, write this in a proper format. So this becomes e to the power of minus lambda. 0 plus anything is any number results in the same number. So I am writing directly this lambda. 1 by 1 factorial is 1. So lambda plus 2 lambda squared by 2 factorial plus 3 lambda cubed by 3 factorial plus etc. I have written. Next. Now, if you observe the term within the brackets, lambda can be taken as a common factor outside. Lambda can be taken as a common factor outside. So lambda I am taking as a common factor here. This so if I take common, I get lambda exponent minus lambda. So this first term becomes 1. Then the second term becomes 2 lambda by factorial 2. Then 3 plus 3 lambda squared by factorial 3 plus etc. so on and so forth. Okay. Now let us do another trick here. Now 2 by 2 factorial is how much? 2 by 2 factorial is 2 by 2, which is equal to 1. So this becomes 1 plus lambda. 2 and 2 gets cancelled here. 2 and 2 gets cancelled here. 2 and 2 gets cancelled here. How? Let me repeat. 1 I have take lambda common factor here. So I am left with lambda e to the power of minus lambda into 1 plus 2 by factorial lambda plus 3 lambda squared by factorial 3 plus etc. This I have already told you. I hope you have got this up until this step. Now I need to simplify this further. What I am going to do? 1 I am going to keep it as it is. 2 by 2 factorial. Factorial 2 can be written as 2 into 1. So 2 by 2 gets cancelled. So I am left with lambda by 1, which is nothing but lambda. Next, 3 by factorial 3. So I should be very careful here. 3 by factorial 3 means factorial 3 can be written as 3 into 2 into 1. So 3, if I write factorial 3 as 3 into 2 into 1, 3 and 3 gets cancelled and I am left with 2 into 1 in the denominator. So 2 into 1 becomes 2. So I get 1 lambda squared by 2 here. Let me repeat. 2 by 2 factorial can be written as 2 by 2 into 1. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So I am left with 1 into lambda. So I have written this lambda here. Now I should be careful here. 3 by factorial 3. So factorial 3 can be written as 3 into 2 into 1. So 3 by 3 into 2 into 1 means 3 and 3 gets cancelled and I am left with 2 into 1 in the denominator, which is this 2. So incorporate that to the lambda squared. So I get lambda squared by 2 plus etc. Right? I can simplify this time and again repeatedly. Now this can be written as, of course, lambda e to the power of minus lambda is always there. Now lambda e to the power of minus lambda into, again simplify this bracketed term. Arrange the terms such that simplification becomes very, very easy. So this can be written as 1. 1 remains as it is. Lambda can be written as lambda divided by factorial 1. Lambda can be written as lambda by 1 factorial. Next, lambda squared by 2. 2 can be written as 2 factorial because factorial 2 is 2 itself. So this becomes factorial 2 plus etc. Now recognize what these terms are. This is an exponential series. Before going on further, let me repeat. Lambda, I can write it as lambda by 1 factorial. 2 can be written as 2 factorial. So lambda squared by 2 can be written as lambda squared by factorial 2 plus etc. The series goes on continuing until infinity. Now recognize what this series is. This series is a exponential series, exponent lambda, positive exponential series, Maclaurin series. Right? So this becomes e to the power of lambda. Now this is multiplied with lambda into e to the power of minus lambda in all the steps as we are seeing. Now combine the two exponentials. Exponent minus lambda plus lambda means exponent 0 minus lambda plus lambda get cancelled, leaving cancel out, leaving behind lambda e to the power of 0. E to the power of 0 is 1, so directly equal to lambda. So mean mu x of a Poisson distribution is simply given by lambda. Mean is simply given by lambda. So this completes the derivation of the mean of a Poisson distribution. Next, we shall derive the expression for the variance of the Poisson distribution. So variance is simply given by expected value of x squared minus mu x squared. This is mean squared, mu x squared. This is power 2. The variance of x sigma x squared is given by the expected value of x squared minus mu x squared, that is mean squared. Now, first, my first step is to find e of x squared. E of x squared, if I evaluate, then just substitution and subtraction, getting the result what is very, very easy. But how to evaluate e of x squared is my first question. So how to evaluate e of x squared? So how to evaluate e of x squared? So we shall follow the same procedure that we followed for evaluating the variance of a binomial distribution. So, but this is much more easier than the binomial case. Evaluating the variance of a Poisson distribution is very, very easy when compared to the steps that are involved for evaluating a binomial distribution, as we saw in yesterday's video. So before going on to the evaluation, I shall do some mathematical manipulations so that the simplification becomes easier. So e of x squared can be written as like this: add and subtract x within the expectation operator. Expectation is a linear operator, as we are going to derive shortly in the next classes. So if I add and subtract x and within the expectation operator, as I have done here, so I get e of x squared minus x plus x. Now this is equal to, now combine the first two terms within the expectation operator. That is, I am going to combine x squared minus x by a bracket, by a small bracket, as I have done here. I am combining the first two terms within the expectation operator. So I am combining x squared minus x here plus x. I am directly writing. Now treat x squared minus x as one entity, x as another entity. We have a formula for expectation of two operators. If expectation of two operators A and B, that is expectation of A plus B is equal to expectation of A plus expectation of B. Treat A is equal to x squared minus x, treat B is equal to x. Okay, let me write it here. Okay, treat this as A, treat this as B. So I have a formula E of A plus B is written as E of A plus E of B. This formula is there, which we are going to prove shortly. Okay, I hope the idea is clearer to you, because the photo has been captured in a dark light, though that's why it is looking a little bit different. So treat A is equal to x squared minus x, treat B is equal to x. Then I have the formula E of A plus B is equal to E of A plus E of B. So in that case, E of A plus B can be written as E of A plus E of B. That is how to state these words, how to state this theorem in words. The expectation of the sum of two variables, two random variables, is equal to the sum of the expectation of the two variables separately. The expectation of the sum of two random variables is equal to the sum of the expectation of the two random variables. So I am assuming that A and B are two random variables. So take A is equal to x squared minus x, take B to be equal to x. So E of A plus B is equal to E of A plus E of B. So this would be E of A plus E of B. So E of x squared minus x, where x squared minus x is equal to A, and plus E of B, where B is equal to x. So that's how I am having here. So E of x squared minus x plus E of x. Now take x common in the first operator. So this becomes E of x into x minus 1. X squared minus x can be written as x into x minus 1. So that's why this becomes E of x into x minus 1 plus e of x. Now my task is cut out in the sense that I need to evaluate e of x into x minus 1. For this, I shall be proceeding like this. Just a minute. Okay, now we shall proceed like this. I need to evaluate e into x, e expected value of x into x minus 1. It's very simple to evaluate, it's not tough. Now, expected value of x into x minus 1 I need to evaluate. Then after finding this, then I shall substitute into this result and get the answer. The answer that I'm going to get is lambda squared or lambda. Lambda is what I'm going to get. The expected value, the variance of Poisson distribution is again going to be lambda, as we are going to see. Mean and variance of Poisson distribution are one and the same. Now that's what that's what is our claim, and that's what we are going to prove. That's why we are doing this mathematical circus. Now my task is cut out in the sense that I want to evaluate expected value of x into x minus 1. So e of x into x minus 1 is simply given by summation x is equal to 0 to infinity. What is there within this expectation operator? Just that merely substitute here, but wherein capital X is replaced by small x. When writing within the expectation operator, I should take capital letter, I should use capital X for signifying that it's a random variable. But when I am writing it for summation, when I am using it for simplification within the summation or within the integration, if it is a continuous random variable, then I should replace capital X by small x while I am doing the substitution. While I am doing the mathematical evaluation, capital X is replaced by small x. That's what we have been doing since the start of the course. That's what I am repeating here. Expected value of capital X into x minus 1 I am using. So for finding this, I am using the summation value. So inside the summation, replace this capital X by small x. So capital X into capital X minus 1 gets replaced by small x into small x minus 1 into px of x with limits summation x is equal to 0 to infinity. Now substitute the definition of the Poisson distribution. So this becomes summation x is equal to 0 to infinity x into x minus 1 exponent minus lambda into lambda x by factorial x. This is the definition of Poisson distribution, nothing else. Now e to the power of minus lambda is a constant, so pull it outside. So I get e to the power of minus lambda summation x is equal to 0 to infinity x into x minus 1 into lambda to the power of x by factorial x. Exponent minus lambda constant, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಚೆ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಪಾಯ್ಸನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ ಆಚೆ ತೆಗೆದಿರೋದು. Now we shall proceed as we did for the binomial distribution, but as I told, simplification is very easy in this case. Put x is equal to 0, put x is equal to 1. I mean to say, expand the summation for x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1 and see what is going to happen. Expand the summation for x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1 and see what is going to happen. If I put x is equal to 0, I get 0 into 0 minus 1 lambda to the power of 0 by factorial 0. 0 into anything is 0. So there is no contribution. There is no contribution from x is equal to 0. Contribution from for x is equal to 0 is gives an answer of 0. That's why there is no contribution. Next, put x is equal to 1. If I put x is equal to 1, I get 1 into 1 minus 1 into lambda to the power of 1 by factorial 1. 1 into 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0 again. So 1 into 0 is 0. 0 into anything is 0. So for x is equal to 1 also, this value evaluates to 0. So that's why there are contribution of zeros, and for the contribution for x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1 is equal to 0. So that's why this summation can be written as summation x is equal to 0 to infinity reduces to x is equal to 2 to infinity. Why? Because there is no contribution from x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1, because the contribution is 0. Answer is 0 barutte adike. That's why this becomes e to the power of minus lambda summation x is equal to 2 to infinity x into x minus 1 lambda to the power of x by factorial x. Now I need to evaluate this and do the substitution. And now the answer becomes I am just left within another 4-5 steps to get the final answer. Now x into x minus 1 by factorial x. Apply the formula that I discussed during the start of this class. Factorial x can be written as x factorial of x minus 1, isn't it? Factorial x can be written as x factorial of x minus 1. So this becomes x into x minus 1 in the numerator divided by x factorial of x minus 1 in the denominator. X and x gets cancelled. So I am left with x minus 1 by factorial x minus 1. Apply this formula recursively. Factorial x minus 1 in the denominator can be written as x minus 1 factorial of x minus 1 minus 1. So x minus 1 into factorial of x minus 2 I get, because minus 1 is 2 in the denominator. So in the denominator, if I apply the same recursive formula again, I get x minus 1 factorial of x minus 1 minus 1 equal to x minus 1 factorial x minus 2. Now x minus 1 in the cancel out. I am left with 1 by factorial x minus 2. So this x into x minus 1 by factorial x minus 2 reduces to 1 by factorial of x minus 2. That's what I have written here. Substitute this value for x into x minus 1 by factorial x. I have separately evaluated x into x minus 1 by factorial x. I wanted to know what would I get if I separately evaluate x into x minus 1 by factorial x. So using the recursive formula as I have just elucidated or I have just described, I get this to be equal to 1 by factorial of x minus 2. Substitute this 1 by factorial x minus 2 in place of x into x minus 1 by factorial x. So that is what I have got. So I get 1 by factorial x minus 2 into lambda to the power of x with summation x is equal to 2 to infinity pre-multiplied by e to the power of minus lambda. Right? All other things are there. Only for x into x minus 1 by factorial x, I have replaced that by 1 by factorial x minus 2. That's what I have shown here. Now, how to evaluate this? I shall do a substitution. I shall put x minus 2 equal to y. I shall put x minus 2 is equal to y, and if I substitute this transpose this minus 2 to the right hand side, I get x is equal to y plus 2. Now since I am doing a substitution in the variable, so naturally the summation values also get changed. So if x is equal to 2, put x is equal to 2, that is the first summation limit. If x is equal to 2, I get y is equal to 2 minus 2 equal to 0. If I substitute x is equal to infinity, I get y is equal to infinity minus 2 equal to infinity. Infinity minus 2 is infinity. If I add anything to infinity, it is infinity. If I subtract anything from infinity, it is infinity only. So if x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2 minus 2 equal to 0. If x is equal to infinity, so y is equal to infinity minus 2 equal to infinity, which I have shown here. So due to the virtue of this, I get exponent x into x minus 1 equal to e to the power of minus lambda. Now the summation gets replaced for y, summation y is equal to 0 to infinity, which I have calculated here. X is equal to y plus 2. So lambda to the power of y plus 2 divided by factorial y, because y is equal to x minus 2 is the substitution that I have used. Now this lambda to the power of y plus 2 can be written as lambda y into lambda squared. Yes or no? Lambda y to the power of y into lambda squared I can write. So lambda squared is a constant. Pull it outside the summation. So that's why I have exponent minus lambda into this lambda squared, summation y is equal to 0 to infinity, lambda to the power of y by factorial y. Okay. Recognize what is this? What is this? What is this summation y is equal to 0 to infinity, lambda to the power of y by factorial y? Very, very simple one. This you would have used in mathematics. This is nothing but the Maclaurin series. If I expand this, I get 1 plus y squared by factorial 2 plus y cubed by factorial 3 plus etc. If you want, you expand this. I get, if I put y is equal to 0, I get lambda to the power of 0 by factorial 0. Lambda to the power of 0 is 1. Factorial 0 is 1. So I get 1. Plus put y is equal to 1. Lambda by factorial 1, which is lambda. Next, put y is equal to 2. I get lambda squared by factorial 2. Put y is equal to 3 plus lambda cubed by factorial 3 plus etc. So what is that? It is a exponential series or Maclaurin series or a Taylor series, which we have studied in differential calculus of maths 1 or maths 2. So that's why I can replace